Hello, hello. Good morning, joyful joints people. Hello to our live joiners, I guess we would call you. And I'm here on the side of my photograph today because we're going to use a wall. We are in the second month of our activities of our live YouTube streams, and we're working on the upper torso this month. So the rib cage area, the upper half of our torso is what we've been working on. Today, we're going to utilize the wall for our assessment. So we're going to get started right away and keep this nice and clean. We're going to be adding in from the upper torso, work with the shoulders today, because the shoulders and the function, how they work and how happy they are, how strong they are, has everything to do with how well our upper torso is working. So I'm going to take my chair right up against the wall here. Good. And the exercise, now, you could stand against the wall, you could sit down on the floor if that's comfortable. I'm just showing you what it looks like to be in a chair with my 90-degree hip angle. And what I'd like you to do is take your elbows and put them against the wall. So with my head and my chest up against the wall, my elbows back, I'm going to work on, and we're going to check. This is our check and recheck. And we're going to rotate those arms up, 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 up. Like I said, we're getting started. We're going. I hope you guys are ready. And then we're going to see how close to the wall my fingers can get while my elbows are still touching. And then we're going to go downward, rotating those arms downward. How close can my hands get to the wall? And we'll do that a couple of times. Just check and see. This is our check and recheck for the day. Now, it might feel really awkward. I might feel like my shoulders are rolling forward off the wall. Keep them touching, please. Keep the back of your shoulder touching while we try to rotate that arm bone, okay? So that is your assessment. How did you do? Was it easy? Was it challenging? Was there some discomfort in the shoulders? Was it awkward? Did we maybe not even understand what was going on? All right, so game number one, we start with refreshers. So pick up your focal pointer. I'm just gonna remain seated here at the wall for today. And let's do our pencil push-ups. Are you ready? Draw that in. Touch your nose. Let those eyes squeeze in toward that focal pointer. And slowly take it away. Have you drawn these exercises into your everyday life yet? Have you found the eye drills that are most beneficial for you, that your nervous system likes the best? My nervous system is so much happier since we've been together doing these live streams and practicing the eye drills more often. And slowly take it away. All right. Switch hands. Let's do 3 more, please. Draw it in. Squeeze and hold. And slowly take it away. Excellent, excellent. And draw that in again. Squeeze the eyes. Good. It's just like brushing our teeth. It's that important, and it can get to be that boring. We got to find new ways to get ourselves excited about brushing our teeth sometimes, right? Draw that all the way in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold it there. And then slowly take it away. For me, the excitement is when I do my eye drills, my entire body is happier, it's healthier, it wants to do more things. So, are you ready? Let's recheck. Take those elbows back to the wall, rotate them up, and rotate them down. Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm having a little easier time keeping my left elbow on the wall this time. It's a minor shift, but it's something of note. What about you guys? Any changes? All right, good. Okay, let's move forward. So by the way, if you're a subscriber, you are always welcome to give us little hints, little chats, little thumbs up. How are you doing? But you have to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes before the class starts, before they're gonna allow you to give us those hints and clues. All right, let's go on to our upper torso exercises. So I'm gonna make my way. Look, my chair comes with me. I'm gonna come back around out to the side. Let's do our review of our rotation of our chest. So we've got our center of our heart. Remember, it's the engine. Good. And as my heart turns, the engine turns, it brings the lungs with it and the ribs with it. This is our rotation. And back to center. Other direction. Let the heart begin. Let it bring the lungs with you and let those ribs rotate. Oh, yeah. And come back to the center. Excellent. Here we go. The heart is turning. So this always reminds me, and this week we're putting some energy and effort into thinking about The Wizard of Oz, the movie The Wizard of Oz, which always gets me thinking about tornadoes and twisters and spiraling energy. And this spiral from the center of our heart is what we're trying to move. Yes, good. And we can think of tornadoes as destructive, but we can also think of them as something that is cleansing, right? Like a whirlwind of cleansing energy that can just pick up all the dirt and debris that we don't need anymore and just swirl it right out of our space, so that what's left is a clean slate to work from. That would be the positive spin on tornadoes. Yes, they wreak havoc and they do damage. But sometimes we need to clear out what's old and no longer working very well so that we can build something newer and stronger and more resilient. Think about that for a moment. And we rotate one more time. Yes. So this Sunday, if you happen to live in the area, here at Pranabar, we do Giving and Gathering Sundays where we come together, we do meditation to bless the earth, and we work on, gathering with each other, sharing stories, helping each other on our journey, just like the friends in the Wizard of Oz do. And then we do service projects. So we get together and do something which is going to serve our community or parts of our community that are definitely in need. So first we have to bring everybody together and swirl up that energy to clean us out so that we can do good work. And really that's what we're doing as individuals. So just a little side note there. So how did that feel doing the rotations today? Did it make more sense to you? The next exercise, we have opening the heart. Remember? Open the front of the heart, let the back of the heart squeeze together. Maybe even think of reaching downward with your arms so that your heart can rise up to the sky. And now the other direction. Close the front heart, open the back. Think about reaching down with your arms so your back heart can float up to the sky. Other direction. Now the shoulders are going along for the ride, but they are not the engine. The engine is deep in the middle of the chest to make this. This is what we call in dance, this is a contraction or a contracted position. When we go the other direction, it's an extension or an extended position. So we're contracting in our upper torso and we are extending in our upper torso. Let's do one more, please. Contract in that upper torso. And expand in that upper torso or extend. Yes. And release. Ooh, shake that out a little bit. Excellent. We have one more exercise that worked on the diaphragm, and that was our breathing, that blowing out of the birthday cake candles. So let's do that. We inhale. Remember what we're trying to do? Drop the diaphragm down all the way into our seat. As you inhale, and as you exhale, push, contract that lower torso to send the air all the way up and out through the crown of your head. Blow, 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 blow. Hold your breath for a moment, then relax. And the air should effortlessly flow back in all the way down to our seat. Okay, let's do a couple of those. Inhale. Hold your breath, exhale strongly. You can blow out your nose or out your mouth today. We'll allow either one today. Good. Hold your breath. Let the air flow back in. Now keep pulling it in. More air in. Pull. Good. And exhale. Push it, push it. One more. Inhale. How far down did you drop that air? All the way into your seat, all the way into the back side of your body. Exhale. So this is a powerful breath we're doing right now. Good job, you guys. Hold. And release. Just let yourself breathe normally. Breathe normally. So those were the 3 basic exercises we've been working on in the first 2 weeks of this month. Now let's go back and reassess. What could you reassess? You could reassess your rotation after breathing. You could reassess your eye drills, or you could pick up your chair like I like to do. Come on over. And let's reassess that arm movement. So neck, shoulders, back of head and shoulders against the wall, and we work rotation upward. And we work rotation downward. Oh, wow. Wasn't expecting much of an improvement, but actually, I'm feeling more even on the right and the left side today. How's it going for you? Reminder, you could take your videos, for all of you technologically advanced people, you could take a screenshot of your movement and then put little lines and measure the angles and see, did you get even better movement out of it? That would be something that would be very, very scientifically sound. All right, come on back. I'm gonna leave my chair here because we're gonna stand up. Well, I'm gonna stand up. You are welcome to remain seated as we start to work on the upper body. So we're gonna find our collarbones. So it is still true that I have one side of my body that is higher than the other. One collarbone that is living higher than the other. I have a little bit of a twist going on in my body right now that is greater than I would like, but that's just what it is. So I'm going to continue working on that. But for now, we're going to find our collarbones, and we're going to move them forward in our body and then backward in our body. Move your collarbones forward in your body and then backward. Now, the collarbones, we may have talked about this last week. I can't quite remember. The collarbones, the arm bone, and the shoulder blades all come together to create what we call the shoulder joint. It's pretty complex. There are so many different little muscles, different little tendons connecting things, ligaments connecting the bones together, and there's capsules in there. There's fascial layers that all work together to create the shoulder joint, and it requires them all working in harmony in order for us to have comfortable and functional, strong shoulders. Now, okay, keep the collarbones slightly forward in your body and pick them up toward your chin. Yes, and then draw them back down. Now, as you pick the collarbones up toward your chin, try not to sink your head down. We don't want our neck to shorten. We want a tall neck, but I'm also trying to pick up my collarbones. And then I'm going to put them back down. Now, here's the thing. Our upper torso, the rib cage, is one unit, and it acts like, the rib cage with our spine acts like a lamp post. The collarbones, shoulder blades, and the arm bone, that is what we call our shoulder girdle, and it acts like a lampshade. It sits down over the top of our upper torso. So this area should be able to move without affecting the upper torso that we've been trying to get moving. Weird. So if we don't have a strong, stable, and well-mobilized upper torso, then our shoulders are going to have to compensate and move incorrectly, which leads to a lot of breakdown of the tissues over time. Does that make sense? All right, here we go. Now make those collarbones go in circles. How's this feeling to you? There's also sometimes our lampshade, our collarbone part of our lampshade gets stuck. It interacts with the very top rib number 1, and they can get stuck together. And then we've got a big problem because part of that fluidity of our collarbone able to move is missing. So then some of the less strong structures in our shoulders, some of the ligaments start to have to do things that they're not designed for. That's when we get tears. when you go and you're like, I have a rotator cuff tear. A rotator cuff is not one thing. It's a collection of a lot of things in the shoulder, okay? A lot of different tiny little muscles. So I'm just giving you lots of information. The key point is it's complicated, but we could make it simpler. If we could just simply get our chest moving better, the ribs moving better, the spine that is part of our upper torso moving better, our shoulders are now free to be shoulders. You up for that? Excellent. Next exercise, I want you to put your finger, actually, let's do this. Extend your arms out to the sides. And I'd like for you to curl your fingers down. Curl your fingers so your thumbs are pointing forward. So I've got my typical thumbs up shape, which is how you tell us you're doing okay, right? And we're going to take that shape, point the thumbs forward. Now, you can, again, do this standing or sitting. If standing causes you discomfort, then please do these exercises sitting. I'm simply standing today because I want my chair to be ready for my next reassess. All right, kids. So push your fingers, your knuckles out to the sides like you're going to punch the sides of the room. And then I want you to hold that chest really still and very quickly draw circles forward with your arms. I'm drawing circles. I'll turn to the side. I'm trying to hold my torso still and make really quick circles with my arms. And we're going to do about 40 of these. Let's do about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Very good. Shake that out a little bit. These exercises are from a program called Egoscue. I found these in the book called The Egoscue Method by Pete Egoscue. And that is an entire series of workout that you can look up and play with also if you want to dive deeper into some of these exercises. Here's the next one. The same thumbs up hands, but this time point your thumbs backward. And then squeeze your shoulder blades. Feel like your back heart just closed. So you'll notice I will tend to dump my chest out like this. That's where my body would like to go. I'm going to pull that in and try to keep my spine tall. Here we go. Thumbs back, squeeze the back heart, and then draw little circles backwards this time. Trying to keep my spine still, my torso still, and move my arms faster. And let's do about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Who has not been doing their arm circles lately? That would be me. I can tell that part of my arm has not been working a lot lately because it's kind of tired. And right now it feels really warm and tingly. So after doing collarbone circles and those straight arm circles, why don't we come back and do a reassessment? Let's see where we are. All right. So elbows to the wall. And rotate those hands up. And then rotate those hands down. Good. I'm pretty sure that on the video, there's not much that's looking very different. Although I did walk into class today after having done already some work. Now, I'm going to say that was harder this time for my left elbow to stay against the wall. So if I were going to give a reassess, my reassess after that was thumbs down. Okay. Does that mean don't ever touch that or that I'm a bad person? Not at all. It just means my nervous system didn't like doing that exercise as much. And I will tell you that doing that exercise, I can feel some discomfort in the place that I've been working on lately. Okay. So what we do at the end of class, we come back to one of our double thumbs up exercises that we've created from our previous classes or from this class. Okay. It's kind of funny. I feel a little bit chaotic in the teaching today. I feel like it's let's go, let's get her done. Is that because Thanksgiving's coming up? Is it because the sun is shining and it is like November 19th and it's beautiful? And I'm feeling a little bit squirrely. Have you guys noticed the squirrels? They're so busy getting their nuts together and all set for the winter. So sometimes we have this happen. We get a little excited over things. All right, next exercise. I'm going to bring my chair over this time to see if we have a different effect. All right, so this time I want us to take those thumbs, so our thumbs up hands, and let's put our knuckles right against our temples, right against our temples. Great. Drop those shoulders down. So we don't want to let our ears or our collarbones come up toward our ears. We want to drop the collarbones down. And then from that position, touch your elbows toward each other in front of you. And then open them back out. Let's do that again. Touch the elbows together. And open them back out. 3 more times. Touch those elbows together. I'm noticing, because I can see it in the camera view, that one of my elbows keeps landing higher than the other one too. So this is really fascinating. It may be time for me to seek assistance from someone like a chiropractor to help get some of my twistedness back in line. How about 2 more of those, you guys? And 1, because I don't seem to be able to get this out of my system on my own right now. So that's when we seek assistance. Very good. So that was elbows opening and closing. And then let's put our fingers on our actual shoulder. So where the arm bone, the humerus bone, actually meets the end of the clavicle and the shoulder blade, there's a little point that sticks out there. Put your fingers right there. And then we're going to take our elbows together, up and around. So this is arm circles, but it's really taking out the lower part of the arm and focusing in on letting our humerus bone, our upper arm bone, articulate, good, with the other bones that create the shoulder. That's it. Good job, guys. Woo! And 1 more time. So often when we say arm circles, we see people take their arms and just with momentum, fling them around really fast. Oh, gosh, if we have some improper movement, that is tearing things up even more. So be very careful of that. Unless you are like an elite swimmer and you're doing all of the supportive strengthening exercises, I don't really recommend throwing your arms around with that much momentum. There you go. Especially when doing these simple exercises like moving the collarbones, makes our muscles tired. That just means we don't have the proper stabilizing strength to be throwing ourselves around like that. And then if we think about what else does that mean, if I go to pick up heavy objects and my shoulders are not stabilized, what are we actually doing there then, right? Good. So important. And this all goes back. What does this have to do with the upper torso, Paula? Well, it's attached to the upper torso. And so when my upper torso is feeling better and moving better, then it's time to come in and restructure, reteach the shoulders how they're supposed to work. Make sense? Yeah. So that's where we are. Let's go now. We're going to take our arms and I want you to just drop. There you go. Drop. Drop. So I want you to have a looseness to the elbow as you drop those arms down. Not a looseness to the shoulders. So I'm not asking you to drop those shoulders and detach. I'm asking us to drop and try to find the relaxation in the elbow joint. There you go. 2 more times. There's subtle differences, right? And do you remember what the rules of this class are? If you don't understand what I'm saying or exactly how to do it, just keep trying, keep thinking about it. Do it lighter, with less force. Good. And then come back to this over and over and over again. You're going to be surprised at how much insight you can have into your body. It's amazing. All right, let's finish up because the whole arm is connected to the torso. So hands next. Stretch those hands out in front of you. I'm going to turn sideways. I want you to bend your wrists to 90 degrees. Does it actually bend that far? Are your fingers straight while you do it? I have a thing, my pinky finger doesn't actually straighten these days, but that's okay. Curl your fingers, make fists, nice tight little fists. Squeeze all the muscles in your arms now. Bend your wrist over. Bend it 90 degrees the other way. I said 90, but what is yours actually doing? If it's less, we have work to do, kids. Here we go. Wiggle those fingers. Hello, hello. I am so excited to see all of you here live. I hope you'll say hello to us in the chat. Squeeze those hands. Come on, tight, tight, tight. Good. And then tip them over. Excellent, you guys. We've been doing some live Joyful Joints class for 4.5, almost 5 years now. And this is just the first time we've done it in this format on YouTube. So hello to those of you that have been with us for all that time. And you guys can tell, if you want to type in the chat, all the ahas you keep getting from your body from week to week, just when we thought we knew it all. Woo! Shake those hands out. Nicely done. Woo! Excellent. Now put your hands together, clasp your fingers, and push your palms out to the camera. Now do this with your collarbones relaxed and your torso, your upper torso, nice and tall. While you're pushing out, we're going to finish up with an exciting one here. Let's rotate our heart and our ribs together. And then come back to the center. Other direction. From your heart, that engine turns the upper torso. Oh boy. And then we come back. Each direction. One more time. Rotate. And back to the center. And left. Rotate from the heart. Yes. And back to the center. And just shake everything out. It is time for our final reassess. So I'm going to come back over to the wall. I'm kind of wishing I'd have chosen a different reassess for myself because I'm struggling with this one a little bit. But I also historically don't actually like this exercise. Why? Because my shoulders have always been one of the most challenging parts of my body. So I do have a story that I have bad shoulders, right? Like that word, okay, how are we doing? My left shoulder's staying against the wall better again. But again, I'm not sure how much I'm gaining an actual range of motion. So it remains to be seen. This class might not be the one that I come back to every single time. But let me go back into that, what I was starting to say. We tell ourselves stories. So I tell myself a story. I don't mean to, it just happens that I don't have very good shoulders because I was told that all through my gymnastics career, my dance career. That's what it is. So that lingers in there. While I do strive to tell myself I'm okay and I'm good and I'm doing a good job, those things linger and they're the stories that we tell ourselves. The more we tell ourselves the stories, the more real they become. So I just wanted to let you guys know, if you're here live, tomorrow evening, one of our practitioners here at the Prana Bar, Tracy Miner of City Cricket Coaching, will be doing a lovely, lovely workshop called Limiting to Liberating. And it's to help us to identify those stories that might be limiting us and then to help us rewrite them so we can be set free from those ideas. If that's something you're interested in, you can find the link through pranabar.org. That's our website. And you can sign up for that virtual workshop. It's a virtual workshop coming up tomorrow evening, Wednesday. That'll be November 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. You can also find a link for those of you that are on our mailing list that will be coming out in today's email. So I trust that this has been a fun class for you. I'm going to recheck something that I did not check earlier, which was turning my head. Very often turning the head from side to side. Oh, yes. Leaves me with some stiffness. What about you guys? We didn't check it earlier in class, but maybe you remember from a day-to-day basis, like, oh yeah, turning my head is sometimes it has clicks or it just doesn't go. After doing that work with the upper torso and the shoulders, was it easier for you? Those are questions that we all can ask and answer. All right. Again, if there's anything you guys want to chat, say hello in the box. Leave a message for those who are going to be watching this class later on. It's really, really helpful. It's one of the reasons why we have a space called Prana Bar and why we do gathering, because when we hear the stories of others, we recognize that we're not alone and that the thing that we might be working on so strongly for ourselves and we might feel so isolated, we might see that other people are having such an easy time, we might learn differently. So please share your stories. And other than that, we'll talk to you guys next week. Next week will be Thanksgiving, the last weekend of the month, which means we're going to be on the floor, supine on the floor. You guys are awesome. I look forward to seeing you. And look, I can wave better. My torso's working better, so my arms work better. All right, that's my silliness. See you guys later. Bye-bye.